Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So this year Google visited VIT in the slot 1, which is great news, and today we have Nikhil here with us, who got recently placed at Google as a part of his campus placements at VIT. He is here to share his interview experience with us, and before we talk to him, let's look at the eligibility criteria for Google. So all the students belonging to CSE and circuit branches of BTech and all branches of MTech were eligible, provided they had a 60% or a 6 CGPA in their 10th, 12th, as well as in their pursuing degree. And if it's an MTech student, also a 60% or 6 CGPA in their BTech degree with no standing arrears. Now let's go ahead and talk to Nikhil and understand his experience. Would you like to introduce yourself first?
Sure, yeah. So, hi everyone, I am Nikhil, VIT Chennai, and my branch is Cyber Physical Systems, Computer Science with Cyber Physical Systems specialization.
Okay.
And since we're talking about college stuff, so I'll also tell my CGPA. My CGPA is 9.39.
Okay.
Yeah, and I like doing computer programming and stuff like that. So, yeah, that's about myself.
Okay, that's great. Thank you so much. You can now tell us about the placement process, like how many rounds were there and what they comprised of.
Sure. So, initially we had the OA round, and the OA round consisted of 2 questions.
Okay.
And after the OA round, got selected for the interview round.
Okay.
The interview process had three interviews actually. One interview was 45-minute pure DSA,
Okay.
and 2 interviews were 1 hour rounds with 15-minute HR and leadership part at the end of the interview.
Okay.
So my interviews I felt went quite well. So in my first interview, I had some mapping kind of question, which was pretty easy. Like it felt like a standard mapping question,
Okay.
something like a lead code, easy, medium level
Okay.
kind of question.
Okay.
So that I actually felt I did really well. And then in my second round, I had a DP question.
Okay.
And this one I took a little time. So in the first one, it was like I was solving it and it got over, and I knew the solution and I was explaining my this solution.
Right.
But in this round, I had to like think through the thought process on the go.
Right.
So during that time, so while I was thinking through it, I had to explain my solution in a way that I can also explain it and also make more inferences while explaining.
Right.
So I had to think a bit. So this was like a lead code medium level question, which
Okay.
yeah, so I solved it. I solved it with some time sparing, but still, like it was not as clean as the first one. First one was like no hiccups and this. So here I had to take some time and think about stuff.
Right.
And the third one was a graph question. So this was around like a lead code medium to begin with. And so initially I did quite well, and so I had a lot of time remaining. So the interviewer explored to making the question more difficult.
Okay.
So we added more complexity to the questions, adding more details.
Okay.
So I had like to come up with new solutions over and over. And then we did this for like 2 more iterations on the question. Made the question, added the graph, add more constraints on the graph.
Right.
And so yeah, so then I solved those new constraint questions also. And yeah, so that went quite well. That round was quite an important round for me because I was just coming off of a kind of a good round, but not perfect.
Right.
And then this round went like absolutely perfect for me.
Okay.
So yeah, that was my interview.
Okay, that's great. So the first round was like 45 minutes, right? You said 45
Yes.
minutes.
Yeah.
Second is 45 plus 15.
Plus 15. Yeah.
15 minutes of
So-
HR questions and
Right. Yeah.
okay. And last round also same, 45 plus 50.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's it. You had DSA, I mean the coding part and the HR part. HR was pretty standard
Yeah.
questions, right?
Yeah, standard HR style questions, checking if your teamwork compatibility and have you done some work and how you communicate.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And the OA had 2 questions, right? Or one?
Yeah. OA had 2 questions. They were, I felt, at a higher level than the questions which I had in the interview round.
Okay.
But I guess that was like they probably did that intentionally.
Right.
But
right.
yeah, so the OA
That
I
was
felt
for how
slightly
much time? 1 hour.
one. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, that's great. Thank you so much for sharing your experience and congratulations again.
Thank you.
And do you have any suggestions that you would like to share for your juniors or for anybody who's trying to get a good placement?
Sure. So one thing is initially, right, when I was my first year, first sem, right, I didn't really care much. So
Right.
I just my CGPA in my first semester was 8.6 something.
Okay.
So and so I have worked, and then my second semester also it's only 9.0 something or something like that.
Okay.
So and then the next 3-4 semesters I have like I had to ramp my CGPA up with like 9.6s consecutively.
Right,
So
right.
yeah. So one thing, like if you are starting out, if someone is like just getting into college, you wouldn't like try to keep it in the beginning itself. Otherwise, you'll have to put in these
More effort.
huge
Yeah.
numbers
Yeah.
to pull it up, because
Correct.
like you'll start seeing, like you'll start getting a decreased effort. Like even though you put X effort, like you will see the CGPA move by like 0.2, and like
Correct,
so.
correct.
In my most recent semester, like I saw my CGPA go from 9.37 to 9.39, which is like 0.02 increase.
Right,
So
right.
it, at least even though technically all credits are equal, at least in a mental state, it will be very like comfortable if you are able
Correct.
to push earlier, and then later on, even if some, let's say one semester goes bad, like one subject goes like really bad or something, you're not hurt by that subject.
Correct, correct.
So
Right.
create a good cushion in your CGPA, and I think that is the like one thing that if someone is starting out, it's definitely advice for them. And if someone is in your second year or third year, right? I mean, it's always time to push. And one thing I always believe in my CGPA is entering every sem, I believe 10 is possible.
Correct.
Every sem I enter with the possibility that 10 is possible, and let's see where we get. So have an open mind, and like if anyone had told me after my first semester that in some semesters from now you will start scoring 9.6, I would say stop joking. So the thing is, like once you start believing that you can maybe score 10, then like put some effort, right?
Right.
And for me, one thing is I had some great friends, so we would sit and study together before exams, and that find people who are like-minded and also like have similar goals.
Right.
Yeah, because they are like the most important. They'll propel you ahead. Both of, like, let's say you're having you and one more friend, both of you will contest each other, and this will like lead to both your development. This is a collaboration in competition.
Right.
But it's a beautiful, this one, like you can like having that good group of people who you work with absolutely impacted me. And second, this one, so I do a lot of competitive programming, and like I've participated in ICPC. We went to Asia West Finals.
Okay.
So we went past the weekend.
Okay.
So one thing I like realized is, like when you're doing these competitive programming questions and stuff, you start aligning your thought process little, like you start getting focused. Like let's say the question is that, right, how to simplify something when you don't know anything.
Right.
That is a skill that of problem solving that you develop by doing problem solving. And so if someone is starting out, maybe if you know absolutely nothing, like you're just like I just did my 12th, I have not done any coding, where do I begin kind of person, maybe you start off on find like very easy problems on CodeChef, and then once you get some confidence on CodeChef, then maybe LeetCode and Codeforces, you can start
Right.
looking into these platforms. So I suggest CodeChef because I started off on CodeChef. I actually maybe I need to tell, I started before my like college. I have started like computer programming before college.
Okay.
Actually participated in 11th and 12th.
Oh, okay.
So people who are like starting off, I have seen that they have issues. They see like LeetCode and it says question says easy next to it, but it can get depressing when it says easy and you're like, I don't know how to do this.
Yeah.
So I suggest like start with like CodeChef. Like the ratings on CodeChef, like 500 I think is the lowest rating question, and I think you start with like adding 2 numbers. So I think the progression is quite soft on you on CodeChef. So I would still say CodeChef.
Okay.
And then once you start growing, I think you need to switch over to other platforms also, because like the competition level and everything is a little different.
Right.
So then LeetCode and other stuff. So one thing which is not covered in competitive programming, which is a DSA special, like in all these interviews there, is definitely the linked list and binary trees. These don't show up in competitive programming as much, and even if you did use them, it was probably not required, but you created it on your own.
Right.
Usually because binary trees require like an elaborate input, and those are like tough to give in these contests. And like your linked lists are always like you can do some array, and you can always be you cannot restrict someone to a data structure in competitive programming. So linked list is out of the way because of that. So these 2 topics specifically, I had to like do outside on LeetCode for a like while, just so I'm familiar, not because like I don't know how to do it, but to get familiar with how. And as you get closer to your interview, I would say when you're like get used to writing your own driver code and writing stuff, and also get used to writing the function style LeetCode. So I see some people who are very familiar with the lead code style. This one you just write the function and you're done. And they struggle when you have to write the driver code, call your functions, pass those vectors and everything. But and then there's also some people who are so used to writing those driver codes and they take input in a weird way. So this is definitely me. I like when I take input in weird ways. So then I have to get used to that. You are giving me vector of vector. I would have used vector of arrays, let's say. So getting used to, like, you give me the data structure of your choice, but I should be able to take the input well and this one. So I think if someone is like knows stuff and they are still getting stuck, try getting familiar with this, because I think this becomes a point of contention. Let's say you have 1 hour, right? If you are taking 20 minutes to parse your input, that's 20 minutes wasted. You should not be taking more than 5 minutes to parse your input. You are losing time for your thinking. Every time you waste time struggling on how to take input. Oh, and then you're checking your, let's say you're taking an array and something is wrong. And you are printing this array, debugging, see out this, and then print every element, and you're searching in that array. So get used to both platform styles. And while making projects, I would say think from 2 perspectives and dimensions. First one is application, right? Like, how does your, like, think about a good problem statement and make a good this one. And the other thing is showcase some skill also in some project. Let's say. So let's say you have learned some tech stack, you want to like show that you can do some real wonderful stuff. Make sure to make some like use some features and like, okay, brag about it. Like, say I use this feature, made this. Let's say you use some let's say you use some AI, you use some API calls. You want to put that out. Okay, I made these API calls and parsed it, and so stuff like that. So make sure you have both this. They don't have to be in the same project, but make sure that you are able to have projects which are novel. Because let's say someone is screening a resume and they see Facebook clone. I think even though the project in itself is not a bad project to understand how you can work with some HTML, CSS and stuff, but it looks like someone can like just go GitHub, copy, paste, and like pull that project in. So as someone who like you should also think from the perspective of someone who is screening, is that person going to like it? Is also a question. Right. So you need to try and make a differentiator in your projects also, and don't shy away from contests and hackathons. Right? Just if you like development and stuff, go ahead, give those hackathons. And if you like computer programming, go ahead and give those contests 8 p.m. I understand the timings are usually like you want to like spend some time with like relax after college or something, but try to give those contests. If you have an interest, give those contests. Those for me, I feel like those contests are what have helped me like a lot. Just consistently giving those contests and maybe solving a little bit. These are things that have helped me. And yeah, also like take care of your health. I have to put this out there. When you are focused and things, please, like I have not followed this, and so I feel like it's important for someone seeing. Like there will be days where I would not eat, and then I realize I've not eaten in the last 24 hours or something. So, and then I'd fall sick like 2 days later, and so like the time you think you are saving, you will lose it when you are sick. You have made no saving by going hyper for a few days and then falling back sick and doing zero. And if for someone who has doesn't have like a direct, let's say some people are there who already know I want to work on this and become really strong. They have a path they want to follow. Let's say someone is like, I want to do something, I don't know what I want to do. I would say explore this one, like explore data structures, algorithms, explore development, explore some AI, try to make some models, write some good code. And then once you feel like, oh, I like this, you'll start finding something. Right. And at that point, then you can feel and you can start getting more specific into that. And so when we're working on these things, sometimes we get tunnel vision. Like when we're even very early on, we get tunnel vision. We're like, okay, I started this, I have to keep doing this. No, you still have a lot of time. And when you're early on, I think it's important to explore other things. Otherwise, something I had to like expand on, because I was probably someone who went with like very DSA heavy, like almost like a one weapon DSA into like most interviews, and so I had to like study for like the non-DSA. Let's say if someone asked me about like some web dev stuff, so I had to like brush up on those stuff before like every interview. Like some people will go and check how to do, let's say, a binary search just to be careful or something. Like for me, that was probably just getting back in touch with some, let's say, some Flask API and other things,
Right,
right? So
right,
I had to
right.
look into some web dev stuff before, so
Hmm.
just in case I was questioned on that. And in the interview itself, I didn't feel nervous giving the interviews at any point. So when I'm giving the interview, it was like I have already done what needs to be done. Now let's show it. Right?
Right,
People
right.
get nervous, and so I like feel like when you give the interviews, you should be in control. In the
Hmm.
sense, you should be able to. Okay, in some sense, you should also be like a mind reader. In the sense, you might also think what the interviewer is looking for. Sometimes,
Correct, correct, right.
let's say, because interviewer is also a technical person, he's thinking. So sometimes, let's say, you think that this edge case is coming up in your this one. The interviewer has also seen it. So it's important for you to say, hey, I'll just call this out right now. This
Correct.
edge case will come. We will deal with it later.
Right,
Instead
right.
of, let's say, the interviewer interjects you like 5 seconds later and says, hey, what about this end case? Then you say, yeah, and then you will continue. But they might feel that you said it, you realized it because they said it, right? So
Right.
you want to like put it first out there.
Correct,
And
correct.
yeah, and when it comes to the HR stuff, like in this answer simple, honest stuff, like they are not looking for someone, they don't expect you to have created a cure for cancer or something. Like just explain your basic stuff. Like they're just looking for, are you a good team player? What is your attitude like? I mean, there's nothing to like hide and say some.
Right.
Don't try to like make it
Make up.
big. It's just they're still looking for just good team players who have good vision and leadership and can communicate well. Right? I mean, these are like it's a fairly good this. So yeah, I think if people are following a lot of this stuff, I think they will see some good results. And I think consistency, right, is very important. Sometimes there would be days where I do like say 8 problems, and then the rest of the week is 0 problems. So that's a net eight problems that week, as opposed to, let's say, 2 problems every day is 14 problems that week. So yeah, so like probably being consistent. If you are when you're like before you feel obsessed and you will do it. It's not a question of how many problems. You'll never count the problems. But if you're still in the stage of, there is this curve where it takes time for you to start enjoying it. So during that time, it is important for you to be consistent. And so one thing is, I see that on like people try to maintain streaks like across one another. Let's say in social media, right? They don't feel a need to maintain a 5-day streak. But when the streak is, let's say 300 days, they are going to try and maintain that. Right. Maybe even from that perspective, consistency has come to like say, okay, whatever this number is so arbitrary, but still they want to maintain it, and that makes you consistent.
Correct.
So try being consistent in that, and yeah, so you focus on this one, find good peers, and yeah, you should do well. Yeah, that's all from my set of feedback for others.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. That was really great, and I'm pretty sure that it's gonna be helpful for many people. Thank you for taking the
Yes.
time to give so many suggestions. I'm sure it's very needed for many people. And yeah, thank you so much for doing this.
Yeah, thank you for calling. Yeah.
Thank you all for watching. If you did like this video, if you found this helpful, please do like, share, and subscribe. And all the best on your placements. Thank you all for watching.